good. All right, cool. All right, excellent. Excellent, excellent. Love it, love it, love it. So we are live over on Rumble, and I believe we are now, yes, we are now live on YouTube. Okay, good, 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 good. I know that things are kind of choppy here in the beginning, guys. But just bear with me. I'll certainly get the hang of this whole, like as far as the production for TSR Live is on point, because I've been doing it for years. I'm good at it. So bear with me as I figure out the sports podcast thing. I've been thinking about moving it off of my main channel, but I don't know. I don't know that that's necessary. I think you can have more than one. I think you can have more than one topic, more than one brand, so to speak. But all right. So what's going on, guys? Welcome. There we go. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot that I have to shift the camera here. Give me a second. Maybe a little closer. Yeah, it looks like I'll probably have to set up another camera, so. There we go. That's a little better. That is a little better. Okay, there we go. Actually, over this way a little bit. Yeah. There we go. There we go. Okay, good, 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 good. All right. The phone lines are open. The phone lines are open. 516-387-1987. Again, that is 586-387-1987. Let me shift this over here quickly. Perfect. Just give me 2 seconds here, guys. Very good. And now, phone, copy, paste. There we go. There we go. That looks a little better. Maybe I'll move that down a little bit. A little sloppy. I don't know if that could work. There we go. Excellent. Okay. Phone lines are open. We are ready to rock and roll. So today, we're obviously going to be talking about Aaron Rodgers. So we're going to be talking about Aaron Rodgers, and I am going to make a very bold prediction, and I'm going to back it up. I'm not just going to say it. I'm literally going to, in essence, put my money where my mouth is. So stay tuned for that. And so, shout out to the Roadblock 85 with a title, The Sharpe Angle. I do like the Sharpe Angle. I do like the Sharpe Angle. But I need a name for my power rankings. I called it Pigskin Power Rankings because I couldn't think of anything. But if you guys could help me to come up with something that talks about what the power rankings are, some play on words with my name, that'd be great. I would greatly appreciate that. Jamie Hoffman with the $5 super chat says, your last stream was light. Do you know whatever happened to CRP? I don't know what you mean. I don't quite know what you mean by my last stream was light and that CRP. Oh, I like Sharpe scale. Yeah, I am Labib, says Donovan. Did you see Kaepernick reach out to the Jets? No, I had not. Jay Blaze told me about that. I would have been aware of it, except for the fact that I don't watch Undisputed. I watch First Take and Sharpe Sports Talk. Yes, I listen to my own sports talk radio. Okay. Yeah, please, Jamie, if you would, please clarify what your thoughts were. So, Aaron Rodgers, as we all saw, Miami J is in the house. Good to see you in here. As we all saw, and Miami J, I sent you my power rankings earlier, Miami J. Don't spoil it. Okay? Don't spoil it, Miami J. Miami J. I made Miami J aware of my gamble. I'm gonna really step out there. Scott Valdez's pigskin power rankings is actually good as is. You might be right. The sharpest 10, the sharpest test, the sharpness test. He says, I won't. Don't you fucking spoil it. Joel, don't you spoil it. God damn it. Because even Miami J thinks I'm crazy, but I don't think so. So, let's get right to it. Guys, the phone lines are open. 516-387-1987. I got Jay Blaze on the line ready. What happened on Monday Night Football? Aaron Rodgers' career as a New York Jet, came to a screeching halt just 4 snaps into the game. 4 plays into his first series, and he pops his Achilles tendon, and Max Scherzer is going to miss the regular season, and he won't pitch in the postseason. Wow. That's big fucking news. Wow, I wonder what happened. Oh, he got hurt. Oh, he got hurt against the Blue Jays. Wow, I wonder what happened to Scherzer. Oh, right shoulder strain. Wow. Oh, CRP. Coach Red Pill. There we go. Devin Sharpe says CRP was arrested back in May. Why bring it up now? Yeah, I don't like this. We're not talking about Coach Red Pill here, guys. We're talking about sports. But yeah, it was what was really crazy. What was really sobering about what happened on Monday night. It was absolutely crazy because there was this whole buildup, right? We all, like most of us, watched Hard Knocks. Aaron Rodgers, he turned over a new leaf. The Jets it's Super Bowl or bust for the Jets. Everything was there. They got the defensive player, the defensive rookie of the year in Sauce Gardner. They got the offensive rookie of the year, Breece Hall, who, by the way, looked unbelievable. I think Breece Hall got him for like 130-something yards, 140 yards. I think I saw him break one for like 50 yards. Breece Hall looks like he's in midseason form. And a lot of people, man, Breece Hall sure did come back from that ACL quickly. Yeah, Breece Hall is 21, 22 years old. He's young. He's going to come back. He's going to come back. And they have Dalvin Cook. They got Garrett Wilson on the outside. And, of course, the defense is loaded. C.J. Mosley, Will McDonald IV. Holy smokes. I mean, it's incredible. You know, it's interesting. It's very interesting. I wonder if Jamal Adams, I wonder how Jamal Adams feels about playing for the New York Jets now. Because Jamal Adams was that dude. He's now in Seattle. I'm thinking he would probably rather be in New York. Maybe not now, but. So now the question really becomes, who is going to replace Aaron Rodgers? Who's going to replace Aaron Rodgers? Possible replacements for Aaron Rodgers. I've got them on the screen right now. Of course, Carson Wentz, he's a free agent. They're not going to use him. So If anybody else has any other suggestions, give me a call. 516-387-1987, 516-387-1987. Possible replacements for Aaron Rodgers. Later on in the show, I will reveal my power rankings after week 1. So I've got Carson Wentz, I've got Nick Foles, Joe Flacco. Matt, let's just go through these one by one. Carson Wentz, his last full season threw 27 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, but of course the narrative is that Carson Wentz is no good, even though he would have been the MVP in 2017. It is what it is. Nick Foles is out there, but Nick Foles, we call him St. Nick. We call him St. Nick here in Philly. Joe Flacco, who was actually on the Jets roster, I think last year, maybe the year before. Matt Ryan, listen, Matt Ryan he's a veteran quarterback, been to a Super Bowl, former MVP, but it was clear that his year in Indianapolis, confirmed what we all knew to be true in the first place. He is done. Then there's Andy Dalton, who right now is the backup to Bryce Young down there in Carolina. I think he'd be a good replacement. Then there's Jameis Winston, who was not necessarily promised the starting job in New Orleans, but it was implied that he would be the guy when Drew Brees retired. Well, they went after Derek Carr, and now Derek Carr is the starting quarterback, and of course there's Taysom Hill. Trey Lance, that's another possibility, but we already know what Trey Lance is. Sam Darnold, I don't see John Lynch and that front office giving up Sam Darnold, giving up a backup quarterback. I do not see them giving up a backup quarterback like Sam Darnold, especially if Brock Purdy goes down. Sam Darnold won that job from Trey Lance. That's why they shipped Trey Lance to Dallas. Jacoby Brissett is also very, very interesting. And again, we have to understand that they need a quarterback that can help them to win. I don't believe anyone on this list can do that. You've got Gardner Minshew, Mike White, who was there last year, Cooper Rush, Cam Newton, and Colt McCoy. Give me a call with any of your suggestions, how it would work. 516-387-1987. So here is the deal, guys. The guy that is going to replace Aaron Rodgers is Zach Wilson. I know. Zach Wilson is immature. He's not ready, blah, blah, blah. I got it. I get it. But guys, I'm trying to tell you something. I think I'm going to show confidence in the big, guys, I'm calling it right now. Not only do I think Zach Wilson finishes the season as the Jets starting quarterback, I think he gets them to the playoffs, number one. Number two, I think Zach Wilson, wait, is that game in, hang on a second. Oh, yes. Oh, this is even better. And guys, look, I think, and you have to think about this. So the Jets just came off the Jets just came off of an emotional win. Emotional roller coaster. You lose your franchise quarterback. Then you get that unbelievable, punt return, the punt return to win the game. So now the Jets are tied for first place in the AFC East, right? Well, we all saw the Dallas Cowboys, what they did to Kirk Cousins. They sacked him, 7 times? Something like, or not Kirk Cousins, but Daniel Jones. They sacked him 7 times. I was thinking of last year what they did to him. They beat them 40-0 too. But they sacked Daniel Jones 7 times. Daniel Jones looked lost back there. They couldn't get the run game going, etc., etc., etc. Guys, I'm calling it right now. You heard it here first. I think Zach Wilson goes into Dallas. I think Zach Wilson and the Jets go into Dallas. And I think they shock the Cowboys. Here's why I think this. I want you guys to tell me why I'm wrong. I think he goes in there and shocks the Cowboys. Because one of the first reasons I believe that they're going to shock the Cowboys is because the Cowboys are riding high. They just dump trucked the New York Giants 40-0. They did it on the road. Micah Parsons had 11 sacks in the game. They're feeling good. Now we got Micah Parsons out here talking about Brock Purdy's a top 15 quarterback. We don't know if that's a compliment or a dig. We don't know. We don't know. But the Dallas Cowboys are feeling themselves. They're feeling themselves. They just humiliated the New York Giants on national TV. They are absolutely feeling themselves. They think there is no possible way they can lose this game. They think they're in the catbird seat. Might I remind you, the Cowboys' offense was not that impressive. The Giants' defense is not that impressive. The Jets' defense, on the other hand, a little bit better. Here's what happens. You guys remember when Dak Prescott went down with an injury last year. Prescott missed 5 games. Cooper Rush came in and went 4-1. Now, did that mean that Cooper Rush is a better quarterback than Dak Prescott? Of course not. And I don't even think Cooper Rush is on the roster. I could be wrong. Who knows? Who knows? Suffolk's Finest over on the Rumble side says the Cowboys defense did most of the scoring. Absolutely. Absolutely. The Cowboys offense did not look that impressive, number one. Number two, listen, I know that CeeDee Lamb is the number 1 receiver for the Dallas Cowboys, but to me, he's not a true number 1. He's not a true number 1. He's not a true number 1. Gotta stop him no matter what. CeeDee Lamb is the best. He's the best receiver on the Cowboys. He's not a top tier receiver. CeeDee Lamb is a glorified 2. A glorified 2 at best. CeeDee Lamb couldn't start for the Eagles. He couldn't. Dude, honestly, CeeDee Lamb could start for the Bills. Stephon Diggs, CeeDee Lamb, but CeeDee Lamb he doesn't scare anybody. Sauce Gardner will eliminate CeeDee Lamb. Sauce Gardner will shut down CeeDee Lamb. This Jets defense is going to be very good. Now, going back to Cooper Rush, we all know that Cooper Rush is not Dak Prescott. We get that. However, the reason why Cooper Rush went 4-1 in Dak Prescott's absence is because the defense carried them. You see, the defense said, okay, we've lost our leader. We don't really expect anything out of Cooper Rush. So we got to step it up. And I think the defense now knows. We don't have Aaron Rodgers. It's going to be on us. It's Super Bowl or bust. I'm not saying the Jets are going to the Super Bowl. I'm not even saying they're going to win it. But I think the defense in New York, I think they step up in the same way that Dallas stepped up for Dak Prescott last year when he went down. And there's a very big difference between Zach Wilson and Cooper Rush. You see, for all of the criticism that Zach Wilson gets, this kid absolutely has the physical tools. He has the physical tools, dude. He can throw the ball through a car wash and not get it. He can throw the ball through a brick wall. I would venture to say that Zach Wilson probably has the best arm in the league. I can't really think of anyone who has a better arm than Zach Wilson. Like, he has got a rocket arm. The only guy who has a better arm than Zach Wilson is Patrick Mahomes. That's it. The only reason why, Patrick Mahomes is the only guy in the league who has a better arm than Zach Wilson. Fred Casillas says Zach Wilson is not good though. LOL. You gotta come stronger than that, buddy. You gotta come stronger than that. Cooper Rush isn't any good either. He wasn't any good either. Cooper Rush went 4-1 with the Cowboys. The reason why Cooper Rush went 4-1 last year is because that defense carried him. Zach Wilson is not going into Dallas with a trash defense. He's going in there with probably one of the best 2 or 3 defenses in the league. I think the defense steps up for Zach Wilson. I think for no other reason. But that nobody thinks that this kid, everybody thinks he's going to get killed back there. The Jets and their porous offensive line. Mekhi Becton can't stay healthy. They moved him over to right tackle. Zach Wilson is all in his head. Aaron Rodgers ran for his life the entire night. Okay, look, all that is true. But the Cowboys got to score too. The Cowboys have to score too. Zach Wilson is a more talented quarterback than Dak Prescott. I'm not saying he's better, but he's got more physical tools. He's younger, he's faster, he's stronger, he has a better arm. Tell me I'm wrong. Fred Casillas, I respect your opinion. Let's not go with the though at the end. Let's not go with the though at the end. Number one. Number two, you got to get your facts straight, my guy. Zach Wilson has not thrown 3 interceptions, though. Zach Wilson threw 1 interception. He threw 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Josh Allen threw 3 interceptions. So, Fred, if you're gonna be involved in the sports talk, bruh, you got to come with the knowledge, okay? You got to get your facts straight. You can't come up in here telling me Zach Wilson's thrown 3 picks. It's 1-1, my guy. No, you're talking about Josh Allen, bruh. So, listen, I respect your opinion. Bring it on, but you can't, like, don't be a millennial about it. Zach is through 3 interceptions, though. No, he hasn't. He's thrown 1 touchdown and 1 interception. He did not lose the game. He did not lose the game for the Jets. They're going to need a little bit more from him to beat the Cowboys, but not really too much. Also, keep in mind, who are the Cowboys running backs? Tony Pollard, and there's another short guy. He's really, really good. The Cowboys have Tony Pollard and then their backup. Do you really think that Tony Pollard and his backup are better than Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook? Huh? Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook. Okay. So the Cowboys put 8 in the box to stop the 2 of those. All it takes is a few plays, guys. All it takes is a few plays. Sean Williams says, is Zach better than Mac Jones? Yeah. I think Zach Wilson is better than Mac Jones. I think he is. I think he is better than Mac Jones. See, here's what we have to understand, and this is the one thing. This is the one thing that really works against Zach Wilson. He doesn't have an offensive head coach. He does not have an offensive head coach. His head coach is Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh is a defensive guy, and if history has shown us anything about the NFL, it is definitely skewing towards offensive head coaches. Andy Reid, Sean McVay. I mean, dude, the list goes on and on. Yeah, Bill Belichick's got 6 Super Bowls, but Bill Belichick's a dinosaur. He's a dinosaur. He doesn't know how to develop quarterbacks. He doesn't know how to draft. Zach Wilson, that's the only thing that works against him. However, he does have Nathaniel Hackett, number 1. Number 2, he's got Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is injured. He's not dead. You think Aaron Rodgers is just going to take his Achilles tendon and just kind of slink off? No. A-Rod is going to be there. He's going to continue to mentor Zach Wilson. Listen, the Cowboys they got a top 2 defense. They got a top 2 defense in all of football, for sure. But I believe that Zach Wilson is going to go into Dallas, and I think he's going to shock the Cowboys. I believe this so strongly, I've got him starting for me this week in fantasy. Damn it. Where's it at? There it is. This should be a better picture, but you guys see that right there? I am so sure that Zach Wilson is going to go into Dallas and beat the Cowboys. I've got this dude starting for me on my fantasy team. Here's another reason why I think Zach Wilson is going to win. I think the Jets are going to win this game. They need this game a lot more than the Cowboys do. Guys, the AFC is loaded. There's not much margin for error. The Cowboys don't have to win this football game. If the Cowboys lose to the Jets, oh well, they're still the 2nd or 3rd best team in the NFC. The NFC is the JV to the AFC's varsity. The Jets have a much, much tougher schedule. Their conference is much better than the NFC. The Jets need this win a lot more than the Cowboys do. They're playing in Dallas. Micah Parsons is always running off at the mouth. You know those boys are overconfident. You know they're thinking, oh, we get to play Zach Wilson. We don't have to deal with Aaron Rodgers. Really? Seriously? I don't know. I think that Zach Wilson goes into Dallas, and I think he shocks the Cowboys. That being said, I think he shocks the Cowboys. I think the Jets make the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to win more than 10 games. I think they'll go 9-8 or 10-7. Here's the last thing I'll say about Zach Wilson and the New York Jets. Zach Wilson is the weakest link on the New York Jets. He is. Let's call it what it is. He is the weakest link on the New York Jets. He went to BYU, guys. He went to Brigham Young. That's out in Provo, Utah. All of a sudden, you're thrust into the bright lights of New York City. The reporters are playing tricks on him to make him to make him say crazy shit. Completely lost the locker room last year. Dude, you had players last year wearing a T-shirt with Mike White's name on it. Like, dude, Zach Wilson was so bad, his teammates wore Mike White's T-shirt. Mike White's in Miami backing up Tua. That's how good Mike White was. That's how good he was. Nobody expects Zach Wilson. Nobody expects this kid to go into Dallas and win this football game. They expect him to go down there and get boat raced. Yeah, Zach Wilson's got some mental stuff he's got to get through, but make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. Zach Wilson absolutely has the physical tools. He's just got to put it together for one game. That's all he's got to do. That's all he's got to do. He's got to put it together for one game. That's all he has to do. You've got 2 Pro Bowl running backs. You've got Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook. Honestly, Zach Wilson probably doesn't even have to throw the ball more than 15 times. Probably not. So now the Cowboys are going to have to stack the box. They're going to have to stack the box in order to stop the run. And whether or not they stop the run is fine. Now you can work off that play action pass. No, Zach Wilson is not the best decision maker with the football, but they can simplify the scheme for him. And with that cannon arm, you don't think a play or two is possible here or there? You guys got to remember, Robert Saleh was all Zach Wilson had last season, that and whatever quarterback coach. This year, he's got Nathaniel Hackett, who has the trust of Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers himself. Aaron Rodgers himself. How can I put this? If they play this game 10 times, the Cowboys probably win this game 9 times. I believe that Sunday afternoon in Dallas, I believe that's the one game he wins. And I think, look, never underestimate raw talent, man. Never underestimate raw talent. The kid is talented. He can move too. Maybe they roll him out a little bit. Maybe they get the ball out quickly. I'm trying to tell you guys. A lot of people think that this is cut and dried. The Cowboys beat up on a bad football team, which is what they're supposed to do. But the Jets are not a bad football team. They're not a bad football team. They're not a bad football team at all. All Zach Wilson has to do is just don't make the critical mistake. Throw the ball out of bounds. Look, dude, we know you can throw the ball 174 yards. We got it. We don't need you to do that. Take the layups. Take the easy routes. Take the quick slants. Take the out routes. Take the bubble screens. Hand it to Breece. Hand it to Dalvin. And when you see those linebackers cheating up, you audible the play. Maybe a little play action. Boom. Maybe you hit Garrett Wilson over the middle for a big score. Never forget, that Dallas offense was not impressive on Sunday night. It was not. And the Giants defense is not impressive at all. That game was won by Dallas' special teams and defense, not its offense. Look, this Jets offense, it ain't the Giants offense, y'all. It ain't. It's a little different. I think the Jets go into Dallas, and I think they beat the Cowboys. Now, after they beat the Cowboys, whoever they play, they're going to lose because that will be an emotional win. Okay. 516-387-1987, 516-387-1987. I can't wait for you guys to tell me how crazy I am. Let us go to Jay Blaze in Maine. Jay Blaze, how crazy am I? How crazy am I on my Zach Wilson take?
Not crazy. I have a lot to say about this.
Let's go.
So, Cowboys, I'm a lifelong Cowboys fan, but I'm a realist.
Okay.
They put up 2 to 3 stinkers a year. They overhype themselves all the time. And then they play down to their competition. So I do see a little bit of that. And, dude, any other quarterback would have any other team would have got rid of Zach Wilson. He must do crazy things in practice.
Dude.
So he has all the raw talent you could ever wish for. But he needs, I think the quarterback you should get to back him up is Nick Foles.
Really?
Nick Foles, it was said that, dude, you have a guy, like, in an NFC game, like, NFC championship game, and he's writing prayer verses. Like, you bring Nick Foles in to tell Zach Wilson,
Yeah.
what's really important. Because Zach is, he was doing some hype stuff, like he was doing the MILF Hunter stuff and
Oh,
all
yeah,
that.
that's right.
And Nick, I think he would tell him, like, that's not important. You gotta get your core values in order, and I think Nick would do that.
Okay, all right. So you think that Nick Foles could bring like maybe a religious calmness,
Or just tell them, or like convince them, hey, just focus on this instead of this. Because I think Nick could do that, and you need a veteran presence to calm him down. Because I think you just know Aaron Rodgers is going to call him after the game and after every practice and
yes,
break him down. Because Aaron came there to mentor Zach.
He did.
They would have gotten rid of Zach Wilson if Aaron wanted it, but Aaron really wanted to mentor this kid. And I will say, last year with Cooper Rush, if you looked on the sideline, Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy were smiling and they were in a good mood because they didn't have the pressure of Dak Prescott.
Wow! Wow! Whoa!
The same thing happened, and I feel terrible bringing up your ex into this. The same thing happened when Carson Wentz went down and Nick Foles won that Super Bowl. They had no pressure. All he did was listen to the system.
Yep.
And he just ran it through. I don't know if Zach Wilson can do that because he's not Nick Foles, or because Nick Foles was a late round draft pick.
Yeah.
Same with Cooper Rush. I think Cooper Rush was undrafted. So
Yep.
They had no ego whatsoever.
Sure.
Zach Wilson's a second overall pick.
Yes.
He has an ego. And I did see his press conference after the game. And, dude, night and day compared to last
I'm
year.
telling you, dude, look, man, and you're 100% right. From last year to this year, literally night and day. Zach Wilson looks and sounds like a grown-up. He looks and sounds like a grown-up.
Yeah.
Before he was just a punk kid with a with a cannon arm who came out of Utah, or who came out of BYU. And we also have to remember, Nick Foles would give him the veteran presence in addition to Aaron Rodgers, I think. Okay, so Aaron Rodgers is probably going to have surgery on his Achilles tendon here pretty soon. But I think if Aaron Rodgers could be present, if Aaron Rodgers, dude, put him in a walking boot, put him in a wheelchair, whatever, I think you got to get Aaron Rodgers out to Dallas with Zach, because Zach is going to make mistakes. He's going to make a mistake or two. If he makes more than one mistake, it's probably over, right? That defense will bail him out, but you can't make too many mistakes. But if you've got that solid veteran presence as well as Aaron Rodgers there to calm the kid down, because you saw their rapport. You saw their rapport during Hard Knocks. Yeah. They razz each other. They get in each other's kitchen. Like, it's a good time. I agree with you. It is like night and day. And I think we are going to see the growth and maturation of Zach Wilson. Now, this happened a lot sooner than we thought it would. This wasn't supposed to happen until like 2026, right? Well, here we are. Aaron Rodgers snaps his Achilles tendon, and now he's thrust in the spotlight. So now we're really going to find out how much Nathaniel Hackett and Aaron Rodgers are worth. I'll give you the last word.
I feel terrible for Zach Wilson because he was in a great position.
Yes.
I don't think he earned a big contract, but he could have taken the 2 years with Aaron.
Yep.
And then got like a Kirk Cousins like prove it deal. Like,
there you go.
Maybe a $30 million quarterback or contract, and then he could have elevated himself. Because you look at Jordan Love, you can't tell me he didn't play that game because Aaron Rodgers, every step of the way, showed him how to do it.
That's right.
And
that's right.
That's what a veteran quarterback does. Like, I know Brett Favre didn't say he helped Aaron through things, but Aaron saw
he did it indirectly. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. And dude, Zach Wilson, I think it was stolen from him, and I think, dude, they're screwing up with the preseason, not like doing the preseason or the diet. Because how many of these quarterbacks or athletes drink milk or do the old-fashioned things to help your body.
Yeah.
They're doing this like they need to fix the health problems. They need to go back to resistant training and stuff. It's a problem.
No, I agree. And you and I were texting a little bit earlier. There are many, many reasons why Aaron Rodgers popped his Achilles tendon on Monday night. The first reason was the Jets' offensive line. He was running for his life all 3 times. The third time, the third time they finally got him. The second reason is that there are, and I don't want to get into the minutia of the collective bargaining agreement, but the new collective bargaining agreement, it gave players more money and more rights, but now they don't have to practice as much. They don't have as many OTAs. They don't have as many two-a-days. Training camp, you can't hit, you can't play. And now Sean McVay famously sat out all of his starters the entire preseason with Matthew Stafford, and then they won the Super Bowl. And so now everybody thinks, okay, we can't play our starters. What has essentially happened is the first 2 weeks of the NFL have become preseason. So if you're worried about your star players getting hurt in the preseason, okay, well, listen, they can be hurt anytime. They're just much more likely to be hurt in the regular season if they're not getting those preseason reps. I'll give you the last word.
Everything. This season will be pretty wild, and I'm rooting for Zach Wilson. I do like Zach Wilson, and I'm rooting for him.
So am I, man. Jay Blaze in Maine made a couple of good points. Chris in Kansas, Apollo in Pittsburgh, and Miami Jam. I'm going to come to you guys here quickly. Let me read some of these. Let's see. Oh, God. I am Labib says, just imagine, Donovan. Jets go like 6-5, 6-6, 5 games left. Zach Wilson's been below average, and TB12 makes a comeback. It's possible. I don't think that can happen. Suffix Finest says, Tony Pollard can't run on the Jets. I don't think anybody can run on the Jets. Deuce Vaughn, that's who it is. I'll tell you what, man. Deuce Vaughn is that dude. Deuce Vaughn is that dude, for sure. Like, he really is. Let me jump up here. Yeah, D-Wee says Zach looks scared in the pocket. Not sure you can fix that. I agree. I think what the offensive staff, what Nathaniel Hackett and the offensive staff and Robert Saleh and Aaron Rodgers have to do, they have to design an offense with layups. Dude, Zach he's a young guy. Move him around, move the pocket, bubble screens, roll him out, send him to the left. You don't have to have him sitting in the pocket waiting on that crazy that crazy offensive line. Move him around. Run some stunts, run some dives, run some fakes, run some play action. I think that'd be a great way. Fred Casillas. Okay, that's fine, no problem. DX says sleeps with his mom's friend. I'm not really sure what that has to do with anything. Dewey says Micah is coming. Yes, he is. Micah is. You can't stop Micah Parsons. Looks like Dan Patrick said, you can only really hope to contain him. Lorenzo says 2 good defenses could be under 30 points for the total. I agree. I wonder what the over-under is for that game. That'd be interesting. Pro Special says unleash Nick Foles in the playoffs. That'd be interesting. Havoc Pleasant says I'll take Cooper Rush or Jameis Winston. No, I'll take Zach Wilson. I don't think, honestly, man. Honestly, I don't think there is any other quarterback conceivably in the league that I would consider to replace Zach Wilson with. Like, listen, Zach Wilson's probably the 29th or 30th best quarterback in the league, maybe. But let's go back to his possible replacements. Dude, they're not calling Carson Wentz. Sam Darnold has already been there. Jacoby Brissett, he's so-so, right? Gardner Minshew is still in Indianapolis. Mike White, he was there last year. Cooper Rush, not talented enough. As a matter of fact, the only players on this list who have comparable or equal skill sets in terms of raw physical talent, Cam Newton, physically good, he can throw. Let's see. Obviously Cam Newton's size and speed. Jameis Winston, another physical freak. And I'm just talking about physical stature. Carson Wentz, big strong kid. What is he? 28, 29 years old. But other than those guys, nobody on this list has anything physically that really makes them jump out. Okay, Carson Wentz can throw, but he can't throw the ball like Zach Wilson, right? Okay, Cam Newton can move, but he can't move like Zach now. Cam Newton's always 30, 32, 33 years old. Zach is in his early 20s. Jameis Winston, cross your fingers. You think, look, you think Zach Wilson is a turnover machine? Go back and watch Jameis Winston's first ever pass in the NFL. Go watch that. Matt Ryan, somebody said he's in the booth. He's not coming out of the booth. Not for the Jets. Not to run around. Not to run around. Okay, let's go back to the phone lines. Let's go to Chris in Kansas. Chris in Kansas. You're on live with Donovan. How crazy am I? How crazy am I for my Zach Wilson take?
Man, I don't know. I could definitely see the Cowboys laying an egg Sunday afternoon. It's just what they do at home. It's not really a home field advantage they have. So losing games like that at home is very common for them. In fact, I like them better on the road than at home.
Really?
But,
okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They seem much more focused. They seem much more focused on the road because Dallas is Dallas is not quite like Miami, but there's a lot of trouble to get into if you're in Dallas.
It's basically not really even a football field. It's more like a nightclub.
Yeah, really. Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, I called the other day, and I mentioned Kellen Moore. I think games like this is where you're going to see the difference in the play calling from Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore.
Oh yes.
So this is. I'm telling you, this moment is going to be the reason why Mike McCarthy went to Jerry Jones and said, "Let me take control of the offense." The difference will be turnovers, and I think. What the Jets have three. They got 3 takeaways, I believe, in that game, 3 or 4.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I don't. That's not going to happen in Dallas. I don't think so. I think they're going to take much better care of the ball, and it's going to be an ugly game for sure.
Yeah. I think it's going to be something like. I think the score is going to be like something like 16-13. Whoever wins, it'll be 16-13. Let me ask you this: You said we're about to see the difference between Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore. Do you think that the Cowboys' offense will be better or worse with McCarthy calling plays instead of Kellen Moore?
Mike McCarthy's going to be more situationally aware.
Of the
game. He's going to have a better feel for the game.
Okay.
So if he sees the defense dominating, he's not going to want to push the ball down the field.
Okay.
Like Kellen Moore did.
Okay. All right.
Like I said, what Kellen Moore was doing in Dallas, he was running up the score against bad teams.
Yes.
All the years he was offensive coordinator.
The Cowboy, it's so funny for the last. I'm sorry to cut you off here, but the last, the last 3 or 4 or 5 years, it's always the Dallas Cowboys have the best offense in the NFL. It never looks that way because they're carried by their defense. But the reason why they score 28 points a game is because they run up the score on lesser teams. And they had the chance to, and their offense had a chance to run up the score on a lesser team, 40-0. Most of those points were scored by your defense.
Absolutely, and what was happening too in that Giants Cowboys game? Yeah, they ran up the score. It was 40-0, but they weren't pushing the ball down the field. They were Dak was making quick reads, getting rid of the ball. They were running more slants. They were. They were running the ball. They were playing more of a ball control offense. That's what you're going to see with the Cowboys this year.
Yeah.
So they're not going to put up as many points as they did in years past, but they're going to be a lot more situationally aware. And Dak's not that kind of quarterback to where you can have him dropping back 30, 35, 40 times.
Can't do it.
He's just not. And they were trying to turn him into the next Patrick Mahomes. He's simply not that. That's best,
right.
I would say he's, a Jimmy Garoppolo or a Matt Ryan.
Okay.
At best, he's not Mahomes to where you can tell him, hey, it's on you. No. He needs a dominant defense and a good supporting cast around him. But I think the difference too is going to be that offensive line. I mean.
Oh yeah, that's.
Oh boy. I'm very concerned for Zach Wilson.
Yes.
Back there, so that could be a very, very big problem.
It could absolutely go one way or the other. Here's what I think. I think that the offensive line, I think they understand the urgency. They said, okay, we cost our team Aaron Rodgers. Like, we can blame everything we want we can blame Aaron Rodgers' injury, whatever. If Aaron Rodgers isn't running for his life, he doesn't get hurt, period. Like, we can blame it on the field turf. We can blame it on the lack of preseason snaps. We can blame it on all of that. But every single time Aaron Rodgers dropped back, he was under duress. If you're not under duress, if he's not under duress, he's not going to get hurt. So now Mekhi Becton and everybody has to do, okay, look, it's time to quit bullshitting. We can't get if we get Zach Wilson hurt, then our season's probably already over. But in case we're wrong, in case Zach Wilson lives up to the number 2 overall pick hype, we got to make sure we keep him clean. I'll give you the last word.
I mean, yeah, I'm an NFL fan first and a Cowboy fan second, so I love rooting for good stories. So
yeah,
I mean, I'm hoping Zach Wilson, finds a way to kind of pull this through, because man, he was the way he carried himself last year wasn't
terrible.
Reflective of a franchise quarterback at all. But
no, not at all.
Thing,
yeah, go ahead.
I mentioned the Cowboys tend to lay eggs at home. I'm not sure if it'll be this week, but I could definitely see them laying an egg against the Patriots at home, looking ahead to the 49ers. So they'll probably lose that game. I'm not so sure about this one.
Yeah, that'll be yeah, no, I agree. And thanks for the call, Chris in Kansas. Yeah, he makes a couple of good points. It does. Mike McCarthy seems to be more situationally aware in terms of the game flow, but clock management, forget about it. Pardon me. Give me a sec. I saw a good comment up there. I saw a good comment up here. Fred Casillas says, I mean, anything's possible. Zach Wilson could have a solid game next week, but if he doesn't make good decisions, he is not going to be able to avoid the pass rush without making big mistakes. 100%. 100%. It is incumbent upon the coaching staff to put Zach Wilson in the best situation possible to be successful. You can't drop him back 50 times. You can't do it. Roll him out, play action, bootleg, bubble screens, quick slants. Look, man, like your NFL coaches, dude, figure it out. Figure it out. You can't let your quarterback sit there and be a sitting duck. So I agree with Fred Casillas there. Stephen Proctor with the $5 super chat says Aaron Rodgers has had multiple season-ending injuries throughout his career, 2013 and 2017 to name a couple, and now this one. It would be wise now to retire. Yeah, you might be right. Mo Betaku, $5 says, how do you feel about Tyreek Hill with the Dolphins? Tyreek Hill is awesome with the Dolphins. He is the scariest. He is the scariest player in football. Like, that dude has crackhead speed. He has crackhead speed. All right, let's go back to the phone line. Let us go to Apollo in Pittsburgh. Apollo in Pittsburgh. All right, Apollo, how crazy am I for my Zach Wilson take?
I don't think you're crazy at all for it. And,
wow.
Like you said and everybody else has said that the Cowboys, they're riding high. Everybody's, already putting them in the Super Bowl off of that Giants victory. So this is the letdown. Jets lost their quarterback. Everybody's like, oh, their season's over. So this is the time, if the Jets are going to win, this is when you want the Cowboys, when they're riding high, coming off that big victory. So I think they can definitely get it done. And another thing is that if I'm the Jets, I run that Micah Parsons all game long because he's still, kind of lighting the britches. I send linemen, I send backs, I send tight ends, I send fullbacks his way all night and make him work, and just running back, hey, 3 yards in the cloud of dust. Even if you get, 6 yards, 7 yards, half the punt, you're wearing him down all game long. So when you do drop back to pass, he doesn't have the legs like he normally would.
The first game that the Eagles – so when the Eagles played the Cowboys on Monday night, the first game in Philadelphia, the Eagles neutralized Micah Parsons. And the way we neutralized him was we ran right at him. Miles Sanders, Jalen Hurts, we ran right at him. We didn't run away from him because if you run away from Micah, he's going to catch you. All we did was scheme to run right at him. He was frustrated all game long. He never really got his footing until Lane Johnson got hurt, and that's why the game was a little closer than it was.
I agree. And the second thing I would do, if I'm Zach Wilson, I'm asking Aaron Rodgers, can I move in with you for this entire season?
Hey, reels. Hey, you know what? Hold up. You know what? Better yet, Aaron, how about you come live with me? If I'm, dude, that's the best. Hey, Aaron, look, check it out, man. I got a New York penthouse. Dude, you and me can be roommates. You'll have the run. Look, we'll eat, sleep, drink, whatever you do. Dude, I will put you up for a solid year. I totally agree with that. That's the best idea I've ever heard.
Yeah, to sit down with him, that way you can be picking his brain 24/7.
Yes, sir.
Watching film like a pro watches film. Even
yes.
sitting there in the living room, having Zach Wilson drop back. Oh, you're not doing this. You're not planting right. You're turning this way, that way. Any little thing that he can do that, you know, is off the hours or whatnot, that he can't be there at the at the facility with him.
Right.
They could be talking, and I guarantee you that would help him immensely. Just the little things that he could pick up from Aaron Rodgers, just sitting on the couch with his leg up.
100%. Anything else, Apollo?
No, that was it as far as that goes. Yeah, I just think I don't think you're crazy at all. I think it's going to be one of those, you know, upset specials, and you know, everybody thinks like, oh, you know, what's wrong with the Cowboys? Are they falling back to earth? Are the Jets? Are they really going to be a move? Then it'll come back to earth week 3. It'll turn back around. But I think this week, I think you're on to something.
I think usually, and thanks for the call, Apollo. I think we know who teams are by Thanksgiving. I think we know pretty much who teams are by Thanksgiving. If by Thanksgiving you know who you are as a football team, by and large, and I agree with Apollo. If I'm Zach Wilson, dude, I attach myself at the hip to Aaron Rodgers, because Zach Wilson's problem is from the neck up. That's it. He's got the arm. He's got the mobility. He's never hurt, right? He's durable. He's got all of the physical tools. If he can just get his mind right and watch film like a professional should, I'm telling you right now, that would be unbelievable. Breaking news. Aaron Rodgers just tweeted something out. Says, the night is darkest before the dawn, and I shall rise again. So it appears that Aaron Rodgers is going to he's going to give it another go. He is going to give it another go. You guys remember when Charles Barkley got injured? I think he snapped his Achilles. I'm not 100% sure. But he didn't want to go out like that. So he worked and rehab, came back for one game, and then he retired. He just didn't want to go out like that. Yes. So here is the Aaron Rodgers tweet. Oh, my goodness. Here's the Aaron Rodgers tweet. This is breaking news here. Says, thank you to every person who has reached out, called, texted, DM, connected through a friend, etc. You know what? I'm going to look for that. I'm going to look for that tweet. And then but for now, I'm going to get Miami J on the line. Miami J. So you laughed at me, man.
What's going on, brother?
Not too much, man. So what are your thoughts here? Am I crazy? Am I out of my mind? What are your thoughts?
You might not be necessarily crazy in your suggestion that Zach Wilson may be mildly successful with the Jets. You're absolutely insane to start him on your fantasy.
Hey, I had to put my look. I
gotta be honest, bro. I came here to humbly, because I feel for you, because you're my friend. I want to offer you Matt Stafford again. I will trade him to you.
Oh my God!
Bro,
who do you want?
Zach Wilson.
Who do you want? Who do you want?
I don't know. Make me an offer.
Oh shit, man! Oh my God! I can't look. I can't go.
Look, if Zach Wilson's going to be successful, it's going to be on the back of my boy, my starting running back, Dalvin Cook.
Oh my God!
I'm feeling for you, brother.
Oh yeah. It's interesting. A lot of people like to give a lot of hot sports takes, and there's no real consequence to it if they're wrong. They just have to come up and say, "Well, they're wrong." I'm gonna try to be a little bit different. And, look, if you're so sure of Zach Wilson, Donovan, put your money where your mouth is. Well, I'm not a sports bettor, so I'll have him start for me on my fantasy team. I agree with you go ahead.
No, you're doing the next best thing. I'm putting him on your fantasy team.
That's right. That is absolutely right. What are your thoughts? So what are your thoughts on the Miami Dolphins? You're clearly a Miami Dolphins fan. Dude, Tua looked unbelievable. And as a matter of fact, I think on one of his touchdown passes, he did not overthrow or underthrow Tyreek Hill. Dude, Tua looks razor sharp this season.
He did. But look, I'm a Dolphins fan, so I proceed with cautious optimism. Always. I always expect to start the season hot and then get disappointed by around right after Thanksgiving. That's what we expect. We've been living through it since the Marino days.
Look.
I'm very cautiously optimistic. I like our defense. I love our offense. I think we could use a better running back, but
yeah,
we're not doing too bad.
Not only that, and remember, dude, the Dolphins got to the playoffs last year and gave the Bills all they could handle with Skylar Thompson. Who is Skylar Thompson? I don't know either.
Nobody does. I don't even know.
No, absolutely nobody does.
Again, having said that, before Aaron Rodgers went out, I think we were in probably the toughest division in football right now.
Yes. Oh yeah, 100%.
Now it's obviously between Miami and the Bills. I think. I don't think the Jets are gonna hang.
Yeah, me neither.
Aaron Rodgers.
And I think the reason why the Patriots looked so good against the Eagles is, number one, the Patriots are a little better than we thought, but number two, Bill Belichick has known he's going to play the Eagles for the last 4 months. So guess what? Now you got to go back to having a week at a time. There you go. So yeah. I think the Patriots are going to be terrible. Mac Jones is a dirty player. We all know that. What are your thoughts on Josh Allen and the way he plays?
Well, I will say, when you said Zach Wilson's got the best arm other than Patrick Mahomes, I think you forgot Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
Look, honestly, I didn't watch the game. I saw the highlights.
Mm-hmm.
It looked all right. I'm not a believer in him. But like I said, I'm very, very biased against the Bills and the Jets and the Patriots.
Sure.
So.
Of course.
And, I make no secret of my biases.
Hey, neither do I.
The fact that Tom Brady was not the greatest. I still stand for the fact that Tom Brady was not the greatest, so he won in Tampa Bay.
I love it, dude. I love it. Joel, thanks for calling in, man. We'll talk soon, dude.
No problem, brother. Hey, bookmark October 22nd.
Oh yes, Eagles. October 22nd, Dolphins Eagles. We gotta do a wager on that. That would be fun. Like, loser has to wear like another.
Absolutely, bro.
Yeah. But see, here's the thing. I've got a Polynesian tattoo. So if I have to wear a Tua jersey, I don't know. I think it'd be all right.
Hey, you can pull it off.
Thanks for calling, man. We'll talk soon, but all right, man. Yeah, Miami J, resident Dolphins fan. Devin's dad is also a big-time Dolphins fan. Devin's dad is also originally from Cleveland, and so he's a Browns fan and a Dolphins fan. So let me, before I go to Marcus in New Jersey, sit tight for just a few more minutes here, Marcus. I'm going to pull up a tweet. So Aaron Rodgers just tweeted this out. I'm glad that I'm able to show you guys this. So he said, it says, thank you to every person that has reached out, called, texted, DM, connected through a friend, etc. It has meant a ton to me, and I'll try to get back to all of you soon. I'm not sure what's going on with the emojis. I'm completely heartbroken and moving through all the emotions, but deeply touched and humbled by the support and love. Please keep me in your thoughts and prayers as I begin the healing process today. Prayers, obelisk. I don't know what that means. But here it is. Here is the line. The night is darkest before the dawn, and I shall rise again. So Aaron Rodgers has just told us in so many words he is going to do his very best to come back. Now, Aaron Rodgers is 39 years old. He will be 40 in December. I understand, he's feeling some type of way and emotional. I can't go out like that. Let's see if he feels the same way 6 months into rehab. I think he probably will, but again, he's 39. He's not a young spring chicken anymore. And it takes us, and listen, I'm 46. I injured myself bowling yesterday because I wasn't completely healed from the last week. So I know all about that. Roadblock 85 says Devin's dad must embrace the pain. Suffix Finest says Josh Allen has a cannon, but he throws a lot of picks. Let us go to Marcus in New Jersey. Marcus, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
How you doing, big brother?
Doing good, man.
I believe in the Jets. I believe in Zach Wilson. I don't think you're crazy about the Cowboys. Him beating the Cowboys. I think they do have a great chance of beating the Cowboys. I think what they need to do is play against Zach Wilson's strength. Like you said, bubble screens. I also think they need to do a little bit more RPO as well.
Yes.
Use his legs as well. Also, I believe that you have two good running backs, Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook.
Hell yeah.
Split carries. I see at least 25, 26 apiece on both players.
Yes, sir. There we go. Now we're talking. If you can get hold on, I'll let you finish because I think you're onto something. If you can get Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook 20 to 25 carries each, I think you have a chance to win that football game because number one, you're controlling the clock, and number two, you're taking the pressure off Zach Wilson. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Also, I believe they have to play a shorter package. More physical. Bring a tight end, maybe two tight ends in, one receiver, and just keep running that football down the Cowboys' throat.
Yes, ball control. Because if you remember, when they played the Giants on Sunday night, the very first drive, the Giants were controlled. The Giants ran the football on the Cowboys. The Cowboys' defense. They don't have any weaknesses, but if there's one slight deficiency, it's their ability to stop the run, and that can come and go from week to week. I'll give you the last word.
And I'm looking at the Jets' schedule. Is they do have a lot of favorable, winnable opponents.
Yes.
They really do. I can actually see
do.
them go 9-8, 10-7, and still make the playoffs as a wild card.
That's what I'm thinking. Any other topics you wanted to hit, Marcus?
The sad thing about the Jets is, man, they're always snake bitten. 98.
I know.
Really went to the AFC,
oh
AFC
yes.
14-2.
Oh my God.
2002, they had Chad Pennington.
Yes.
They destroyed the Colts 41-0, then lost the second round. Mark Sanchez took them to the AFC Championship twice
in a row,
and they just couldn't do anything.
Here's where they're even more snake bitten. So the Jets went to the AFC title game, eventually lost to the Super Bowl 33 champions. They ended up beating the Atlanta Falcons, the Dirty Bird, Jamal Anderson, and all of that stuff. The very next year, the Jets were one of the Super Bowl favorites. One of the Super Bowl favorites, and Vinny Testaverde snapped his Achilles in Game 1.
Yeah, that's happened with Atlanta. The second year when they played the Cowboys, he snapped his Achilles against the Cowboys, and the Falcons went to the same since after. The Super Bowl.
Yes. Oh man. Holy moly. Ay. Mark. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's all I gotta say, big brother. I know you got other people on the line waiting. So love you, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. I support you 100%, man.
You too, brother. Take care. That's he makes a very good point. But listen, man. Let me just say this objectively, okay? The Cowboys are a better team than the Jets. They're better than the Jets everywhere. Like, they're better than the Jets everywhere. They have the better quarterback. They have the much better offensive line. Let me back up. The Cowboys are better than the Jets. Okay? They have advantages, but the disparity is not wide, guys. Defensively, I think they're probably about even. I think from the looks of it, it looks like the Cowboys defense is a little bit better than the Jets defense, but the defenses don't play each other. They play the offenses. Dallas's offense did not impress against the Giants, and the Giants don't have a very good defense. I think it's safe to say that. So it's not the Cowboys defense. Look, the Cowboys might have a better defense than the Jets for sure, but it's not the Jets defense against the Cowboys defense. Oh no, it's the Jets defense against the Cowboys offense that didn't look that good. The Cowboys defense has to play the Jets offense, right? Here's something else. For anyone who thinks that this is going to be a cakewalk, think of it this way. When the Jets have the ball, who has the advantage? It's the Cowboys. They have a better defense. When the Cowboys have the ball, who has the advantage? It's the Jets. They have the better defense. These two teams are evenly matched defensively. Might not be evenly matched offensively, but they are evenly matched defensively. All it takes is one game, one play, one scheme, one magical any given Sunday. I'll put it to you like this. The Cowboys can make a bunch of errors and still win this game by 3 touchdowns. They could do it. They absolutely could do it. They could win this game by 3 touchdowns. Dak Prescott could throw 3 interceptions. Pardon me. Tony Pollard might have a fumble. The Cowboys are so good, they can overcome 2 to 3 turnovers. The Jets don't have that same margin for error. So it's going to take a confluence of events. It's going to take a couple of Dallas turnovers, number one. It's going to take a couple of Dallas turnovers. It's going to take a couple of lapses in concentration on defense. But then at the same time, on the other end, you can't have mistakes by the Jets. You can't have mistakes by the Jets, and the defense has to be rock solid. If those 4 things, if those 4 elements, and again, this is a long shot. I'm not saying that this will probably happen. But if these things are in place, and I think there's a bit of a coaching mismatch offensively, remember, this is not Robert Saleh versus Mike McCarthy. This is Mike McCarthy versus Nathaniel Hackett, who was in Green Bay with Aaron for years and years, right? So even this is not McCarthy versus Saleh. That's what it is on paper. Defensively, it's Dan Quinn versus Nathaniel Hackett. And then I don't even know who. I like the Jets defensive coordinator, but you guys have to understand that that's where the real matchups are. So when the Cowboys have the ball, it's advantage Jets. When the Jets have the ball, it's advantage Cowboys. Each one of their offenses, both of their offenses is the weak link. The Jets have a much shorter, if not invisible, margin for error. The Cowboys could overcome 1 to 2 turnovers. The Jets maybe can overcome 1. Probably not. No, they can't. The Cowboys can overcome 1 to 2, possibly 3 turnovers. The Jets, they can't afford that. The Jets have to play perfect, mistake-free, ball control, get the ball out quick, hand the ball to Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook football. If they can put Zach Wilson in a position to be successful, take the pressure off him, roll him out, bubble screens, quick slants, don't run right at Micah Parsons, don't allow DeMarcus Lawrence to be all in his face. Guys, I'm telling you right now, I think they have a real chance to win. I think they have a real chance to win. All right, it is now time for my first. I was going to talk about Josh Allen, but it is now time. Tougher drug testing policies. Oh, resting policies. Oh, the NBA. So it is time to reveal my power rankings. I'm still working on and I'm in the future. I'm going to run background music, and we'll have all kinds of. We're working on a sports ticker. We're trying to make this official for you guys. So please, by all means, you guys want to know why? Dude, here's why I know I love doing sports talk. I don't have any of the stats up. I have no idea how many people are watching. I have no idea how many likes I have. I'm not even paying attention to it. That is incredible. I don't even know. And to be honest with you, I don't care. That's how much I love sports. All right. So these are the Sharpe power rankings. I liked, if you guys would, I need your help. I need your help in helping me find a name. I need a name that tells people I'm doing the power rankings. I'm doing the power rankings that also has my name in it. Let me go back to the phone lines here quickly before we get started here. Jay Blaze, what you got, brother?
Oh, I was gonna comment on your power rankings when you had them up.
Oh, my bad. Okay, so I'm gonna put you on hold and then I'll bring you back in. Okay, so these are my power rankings. These are going to be the top 10 NFL teams based on what happened on Sunday and Thursday and Monday, according to Donovan Sharpe. So at number 10, I have the Cleveland Browns. Look, guys, Deshaun Watson did not look good. That much we know. But that defense came up big. It was hellified. Myles Garrett, Jabril Peppers. And I think what we also have to understand is that Kevin Stefanski is also coaching for his job. Okay, so he had the big win in Pittsburgh with Baker Mayfield on the road. That's his one playoff win. What have they done since then, right? Yes, I know they have a zonky owner. Jimmy Haslam. I know he can be a little bit impulsive, which is why he gave Deshaun Watson $230 million guaranteed. But I think Deshaun Watson gets better as the season goes along. But right now, I have them as my 10th best team in the NFL. Number one. Number two, they've got Nick Chubb. They've got Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb, to me, is one of the best running backs in the NFL. You can never count out a team like that. Number 9, The Green Bay Packers, man. Guys, look, one of the callers said it earlier. Jordan Love has been sitting behind Aaron Rodgers for what it seems like the last decade and a half. And even though Aaron Rodgers told us straight up, look, I'm not here to mentor Jordan Love. I'm here to win football games. Even though he didn't really mentor Jordan Love, he kind of mentored Jordan Love indirectly. And proof of that was on Sunday. Jordan Love is nothing special, okay? One of the Chicago defensive backs said, listen, Jordan Love is nothing special. I agree with him. But he's good enough to be the Packers' starting quarterback at this point, and he looked really good without the presence, by the way, of their best and fastest receiver, Christian Watson. Christian Watson was hurt. So they go into Chicago. They dump truck the Chicago Bears on the road without their best receiver. I got to give credit to Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur. Number 8, I got the Baltimore Ravens. Look, guys. Okay, so the Ravens didn't look that impressive against the Texans, but they beat a team they were supposed to beat. The one tragedy is that they lost J.K. Dobbins for the season again. It's going to be a good year for Baltimore, but the fact that they don't have J.K. Dobbins, it really makes me almost second guess and not give me as much confidence in them as my preseason, number 5 overall seed. So keep an eye on Baltimore. Who knows who they're going to replace him with? Number 7. The Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, they did have to come back against the lowly Indianapolis Colts, but again, nobody has any tape on Anthony Richardson. Nobody knows. I mean, all they have is the Florida tape. That's it. So Anthony Richardson, he's going to sneak up on a lot of people. I get that. I understand that. And to be honest with you, I mean, and what we also have to understand is this too, guys. Anthony Richardson is the size of Cam Newton. A lot of people don't know that Anthony Richardson is as big as Cam Newton. He's as big as Cam Newton. He's faster than Cam Newton was and has a better arm than Cam Newton did. Anthony Richardson is a rich man's Cam Newton. I can promise you the Jaguars defense, they've never seen anything like that. The more tape they get on him, the better the defenses will prepare against him. But I think in short order, I think the Jaguars did a very good containing them, and then of course, pardon me, with their comeback win coming from behind, Trevor Lawrence. Number 6, I've got the Detroit Lions. Look, man, the Lions went on the road to Kansas City and beat the Super Bowl champions in their backyard. Look, I understand that Kansas City didn't have Travis Kelce or Chris Jones. Both of those guys are going to be back this week. But hey, good. Look, man, a win is a win. It doesn't matter. Even if Travis Kelce and Chris Jones had played and the Lions, it wouldn't have mattered. 5 weeks from now, we're not going to look back on the Lions, being in first place by one game, that being the Chiefs. Is, well, you know what? They did beat the Chiefs that didn't have Travis Kelce and Chris. No, that was a huge win. I'm going to tell you what, man, a lot of people don't realize that the Detroit Lions, they probably have one of the best offensive and defensive lines in the NFL. Look, we all know San Francisco's O and D lines are superior. We know the Eagles' O-line and D-line superior. We know the same thing about the Cowboys. Detroit might be in the middle of that pack somewhere, guys. So keep an eye on Detroit. Again, they were my preseason pick to win the Central and go to the playoffs. Number 5, it's the Philadelphia Eagles. Look, don't freak out. Don't freak out here. But the Eagles don't deserve to be in the top 4. They just don't. They won by 5 points against a team they should have scored a lot more points on. Now, number 1, there are many reasons for this. First game of the season, Jalen Hurts didn't take any reps, during the preseason games. They rested all their starters, so this is the first time they've seen game action. No matter how much you practice, you cannot simulate game action. Number 2, this was the first game for our new offensive coordinator, Brian Johnson. He's trying to get used to Jalen. Jalen's trying to get used to him. Number 3, the weather was bad. Their weather was extremely, extremely bad. Now, I do realize that they have to play on both sides of the football, or they have to play that on the other team. But let's not pretend that the terrible inclement weather didn't have something to do with the Eagles' ineptitude on offense. Number 4, they're trying to get used to life without Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders is now in Carolina. We've got DeAndre Swift, who we got from the Lions back there, along with Kenneth Gainwell out of the University of Kentucky. As I start to lose my voice, look, I'm not worried about the Eagles. Bill Belichick normally does very, very well against mobile quarterbacks. He had 4 months to prepare. We still went in there. We got the job done. But as far as I'm concerned, they are the 5th best team in football. Number 4, the Kansas City Chiefs. look, man, the Kansas City look. In order to be the man, you got to beat the man. Yes, Kansas City lost to Detroit, but like I said earlier, they didn't have their second and third best player. Again, they were feeling themselves. The banner was dropping, first game of the season. And again, we acknowledge that defenses are always a few steps ahead of offenses. Now, obviously, we can't make that excuse because this is the first ever opener that Patrick Mahomes has ever lost. But I think that Travis Kelce and Chris Jones make a hell of a difference. And keep this in mind. The Detroit Lions, they went with them toe-to-toe. But even though Kansas City had two of their best three players off the field, they still only lost by one. Kansas City is going to be just fine. They're not going to be what they were last year. They're going to be just fine. I wouldn't panic at all. Number 3, oh boy, the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys looked like one of the best defensive teams. They absolutely dump trucked the Giants. Yes, it was the Giants. Yes, the Giants are terrible, but guess what? You're supposed to dump truck bad teams. Dallas is one of the best teams in football. The Giants are one of the worst. A 40-0 score should be standard as far as I'm concerned. Number 2, the Miami Dolphins. Okay, so they gave up 34 points on defense, but the 34 points was to the Los Angeles Chargers. But Tua and that offense and Jalen Waddle, I don't know. I think the only thing that could stop Miami this year is a concussion. And I say that in jest, but good God, fins up. And number 1, the most balanced team in football, the San Francisco 49ers. They went into Pittsburgh and absolutely curb-stomped the Steelers. I actually thought that the Steelers had a chance to upset the Niners, but I watched that game from start to finish, and it was never close. Nick Bosa, I think, played more snaps than ever. Fred Warner, Dre Green. I think that Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw, I think they're the second coming of Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman. You guys remember those? You've got Charvarius Ward on one side, Jimmy Ward on the other. I mean, the San Francisco 49ers, in my opinion, they are the most balanced team in football, and that is why they are at the top of my power rankings. So now let us go to Jay Blaze. All right, Jay Blaze, what are your thoughts on my power rankings? What do you agree with? What do you disagree with?
I agree with the number 1 because I think the 49ers, they are absolutely stacked.
Yeah, man.
And
holy moly.
Purdy keeps playing like this, dude, I don't know how you beat him.
Real talk.
I don't like the Ravens. I think the Bengals are going to get back up into the top power rankings.
Okay.
But week 1, they looked like dog shit. So,
they did.
Yeah, I think the Jaguars, they didn't have an impressive win, but I still think they're going to be the number 1 seed.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Okay, very good.
But, yeah, the Cowboys looked really good, but the Giants, they're a train wreck.
Yep, they are. So you would essentially replace Baltimore with now. Who do you think is better? Who do you think is better, Cleveland or Baltimore?
Cleveland has way more potential. That the defense won their week 1 game. Their defense won that hands down.
Yeah, they did.
If Deshaun can play even average quarterback play, the Cleveland's going to be a really tough game. So I would go Cleveland. I think they have a shot of the wild card. I still don't trust Lamar without Greg Roman.
Yeah,
I don't know how their offensive coordinator will adjust to Lamar.
Yeah,
and I think he's.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, he's towards that like running quarterback. You know, you got to treat Lamar like a running back. Like he has a shelf life on him.
Yeah,
I don't know how well he's gonna do.
Okay, very good. Any other topics you wanted to touch on?
No, I just wanted to thank you for starting Zach Wilson because you're playing me in fantasy.
Oh, shit, man. Hey, look, I got him starting now, man. But you guys are starting to scare me. I might trade for Matt Stafford. We'll see. I don't know. I might chicken out.
Don't let me scare you.
Thanks for the call, Jay Blaze. Oh my God, he's like, yeah, hey, stand by your convictions. I'm doing it, man. I'm doing it. I'm keeping him in there. God damn it. Oh my God. Ay. Suffolk's Finest says Tony Pollard is not that good. I think Tony Pollard is really good. I think he's really good. Yes. The Eagles play the Minnesota Vikings on Thursday night, so I'm very, very, very much looking forward to that. Hopefully we can get back on track offensively. Spirit of the Justice, okay, says the hate for Lamar is real. Advocate says stop running Jalen between the tackles. Yeah, right? Great idea. Advocate says please stop running Jalen up the... Hey, look, Advocate, I'm an advocate for Advocate. Like, don't run. I mean, the only time you need to run Jalen up the middle is with the Philly rugby play. Other than that, if you're going to run him up the middle, have him drop back and then run. But no designed runs up the middle. Jesus Christ. Thank you guys all very... Oh, wait a minute. We just got another call. Oh, there he is. All right, never mind. All right, area code 850. You have very good timing because I was literally about to end the show. What you got, man?
I'll make it quick.
Sure.
I would probably switch the Eagles and the Chiefs.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Maybe it's just from last year. I believe the Eagles probably would have beat the Chiefs if you guys were playing on grass and not turf.
Yeah, right.
I think that made a difference. But I guess something I wanted to talk about real quick.
Sure, go ahead.
Was I'm here in Kansas, so there's a bunch of Chiefs fans here.
Mm-hmm.
Something that really bothers me, and this Chris Jones situation, kind of highlighted it for me,
mm-hmm.
is you got fans that tend to have contempt for athletes when it's time for them to get paid.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And I don't think, I would talk to fans, and I'm like, hey, man, do you not understand what you're seeing here? He wants a raise. He only has a finite amount of time to maximize his profit.
Yep.
Yet fans we're looking down on him, saying like, hey, he's a selfish athlete. These guys make these millions of dollars. If I didn't show up to work, or if I show up to work, why can't he? And it's like, man, you can't compare your blue collar job to the job of a professional athlete. Like,
check this out. Listen.
Job, they can find any.
Dude, you were going to make my point for me, and it reminds me of a conversation I had with this bitch I used to work with at a call center. I think Ben Roethlisberger had signed like another deal with the Steelers, and she says, I can't believe that he gets all that money just to throw a football. I said, really? I said, how many people do you know can throw a football like that? She says, I don't know, like anybody can throw a football. I was like, yes, but only 32 guys can throw a football like him. I told her this. I said, they could hire 1 million monkeys to come in here and do our jobs. But you don't find Ben Roethlisberger on the streets of Las Vegas, and that shut her up. At the end of the day, man, and this is the thing, what you're telling me is I thought that fans were starting to become more understanding of players holding out and getting their money. But you're telling me that there's still resentment, even though we know what owners make, what these TV rights deals, the NIL, even though we know what all these big companies make and the owners, we're still getting mad at players for demanding a raise?
It's unbelievable to me, and I like to go to Arrowhead because it's the closest place to me to catch a football game, and just the way the fans talk about them, the athletes in the stands, like, dude, like, I mean, you think you could do a better job out there? I'm like, man, what are you doing? But
it comes down to this, man. No, I totally agree, and thanks for the call, man. Look, I think it's a travesty. I don't even want to call it a travesty. We have to understand that there are certain things that people value. And Apollo, I see you on the line. I'm going to get to you in just a second. We have to understand that there are certain things that these policies are going to really rectify, right? With the CBA and everything. Our firemen, teachers, cops, our first responders, they are far more important to our everyday lives than Patrick Mahomes will ever be, right? Miss Johnson, the math teacher, will impact far more people in a positive way, I guess, educational-wise, than a guy like Breece Hall, right? In terms of education, you guys know what I mean, right? Is it fair that teachers and first responders don't make as much as professional athletes? I don't know. But it really comes down to what we put value in. Football is America's passion, man. Sports is what drives the economy. And a lot of these blue-collar guys who complain about these professional athletes, holding out and greedy for money and this and that and the third, a lot of these people would not be employed if not for professional sports. Professional athletes put money in a lot of people's pockets. It's not just the owners. Professional athletes put money in my pocket. They put money in companies' pockets. They put money in television stations' pockets. They put money in the professional athletes put money in everyone's pocket. Everyone makes money off of professional athletes to some degree. If only a finite people can do what they do, you better fucking believe I'm going to try to get every last dime. You better believe it. Dude, NFL owners are in their 60s, 70s, and 80s. They've made money their entire lives. A professional athlete has this much. Like, listen, they market TB12 a lot, right? As they should. But Tom Brady is a gross outlier. Tom Brady is a gross outlier. The average NFL career is 3.5 years, man. Just because you make the league doesn't mean you're going to be there for 10 years. No, and even if you're there for 10 years, that's 10 years out of your expected 75 years for the rest of your life. Yeah, you better believe that I want players to get as much as they possibly can. I am 100% pro-athlete in that regard. I can't stand people who hate on athletes because of the money they make. It's insane. It's insane. If they really understood how the economics broke down, I think they would be a lot more empathetic. Apollo, what you got, brother?
Calling about, like you said, your rankings.
Okay.
I have to agree with the previous caller. I would have to put the Eagles ahead of KC. I mean, to me, it's something about winning versus losing. I know they didn't have the top two players, but they didn't get the job done, and the Eagles did. So I would at least that one I would just flip.
Okay, very good. That's a great case for that, actually.
And the other thing, like you said about players getting paid, like I'm all for it. Like even when Le'Veon Bell held out, and as much as I love the Steelers and wanted him to play, I never held it against him that he held out for his money. I'm like, he's doing what the system allows him to do, and like you said, they only have a finite amount of time to get their money. I'm 45 years old. I've been working since I was like 15, 16 years old.
Exactly.
God willing, I'll be working another 20, 30 years. These guys only have a certain window that they can earn that money. And outside of that, unless you're a Tom Brady, a Peyton Manning, Tony Romo, that you can go in the booth or something else, these guys, I don't know what Navarro Bowman's doing right now.
Yeah, right.
Is he making money? Is he, what are the 95, 98% of the league, the guys when they leave the league, what are they doing to make money? So
wow, good point.
They should get their money.
Excellent. Great call, Apollo. Thanks for calling in, man.
All right, no problem, Don.
All right, take care. Wow, great call. Great call there by Apollo, man. Great call. Not only do players have a finite number of years, afterwards, exactly, that's perfect. Like, what's Navarro Bowman doing? Does anyone know what Andre Rison is up to these days? Let me think of another player. Has anyone heard from Dante Culpepper? You know what I mean? Doug Flutie, what's he up to? Let me think of more current players. Ed Reed. Does anyone know what Earl Thomas is doing? Does anyone know what Vinny Testaverde is doing? What's Curtis Martin up to? Like, we really don't know. So, yeah, even after they get done playing, only a small percentage of them, there's only so many Tony Romos and Troy Aikmans to go around, right? Most guys end up just doing whatever. Oh, yes, CH says Mike Williams. Yes. Mike Williams is doing construction, and now he's paralyzed from an accident. I thought he was dead. I thought Mike Williams was dead. So, anyway. Well, great show today. I have now talked for a total of 5 hours. Oh, good. Oh, okay. Yeah, look, Roadblock 85 says, we know what Dion's up to. Yes, sir. We know it. We know what Prime Time is up to. Coach Prime. Yeah, we know it. Yeah. Yeah, we know what Dion's up to for sure. Very good, guys. Yeah, thanks to however many people watched. I just don't look at the stats when I do these. So, thank you to all who super chatted, and I'll see you for the next one. Take care.